قال يا بني لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين وكذلك يجتبيك ربك ويعلمك من تأويل الأحاديث ويتم نعمته عليك وعلى آل يعقوب كما أتمها على أبويك من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق إن ربك عليم حكيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أتمان الأكملان خير خلق الله أجمعين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ثم ما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My dearest brothers and sisters out there, you're watching Divine Stories and we will be exploring the story of one very special, unique man, Yusuf alayhi salam. I'm your host Asim Khan. Now in the last episode we already took the verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that Yusuf as a young child tells his dad about this epic dream of seeing the 11 stars and planets, sun and the moon all bowing down to him. Now he is shocked, he's surprised, he's humbled by the dream and he tells dad, and then dad was there to listen to him. Dad was there to hear his young son explain the story, and dad never said, "Are you crazy? Why are you telling me for? Why don't you go tell your mum? I don't have time for you right now." No, in fact Yaqub alayhi salam was an amazing father. He listened to what Yusuf as a young boy had to say. He believed him, he valued what he had to say, and then he began to advise him. لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا. He said to his son, don't go around telling your brothers about this dream of yours. If you do, then they may well plot and scheme against you. And by the way, son, إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين. I'm going to tell you another thing. Listen to me. Shaitan, when it comes to man, he is a clear-cut enemy. As if to say, your brothers, unfortunately, they envy you. And if you tell them this thing, they may just go to the extreme and start to do evil and harm you. And by the way, behind the scenes, there is shaitan. Shaitan always there whispering and encouraging, enticing, egging along people to do bad things. And so, if they did, my son, do something bad to you, then try and forgive them. Try and see that, they gave in to the wiswas of shaitan, and though they are responsible and though they may have sinned, try to forgive them. A beautiful piece of advice. And what is amazing is that this advice is of two parts. There is this verse and then the next verse. The next verse is the continuation of the advice, but in a very different tone, with a very different message. Just focusing on this first piece, we learn so many things, and we discussed a lot of them in the first episode. But I want to mention something here. Notice how Dad Yaqub says to his son Yusuf, don't share your dream with your brothers, because if they hear it, they'll become jealous of you. Now look at our times, my brothers and sisters. How often, or actually it's part of our culture now, to upload pictures on our social media, on our Facebook pages, on Twitter, Instagram, etc., and flaunt the blessings that we are enjoying. To plaster on our Facebook walls pictures of the fine dining that we have been enjoying, pictures of the holiday places that you've been, pictures of celebrities that you managed to get a selfie with, etc., pictures of shopping. You've been and you've bought such amazing things and you want to show everyone. Well, in this verse there's a little lesson that though some people are genuine and they like you, they wish well for you, if they hear good news from you, they'll be happy for you, there are other people out there too. In fact, those other people could be from your own family, just like the brothers of Yusuf are his half brothers. They have a blood relation. Though that is the case, they don't wish well for you. They are jealous of you. They are going to hate on you. Because of that reason, Dad is saying, don't go around flaunting your blessings in the faces of other people. Because if you do, son, you'll have your own self to blame. If you do, son, then some people out there, they will hate on you. They will give you the evil eye. They will be jealous and envious of you. And then you'll run into some trouble. So to avoid that trouble, let me tell you, just keep your blessings to yourself. If Allah has given you some blessings, money, children, property, friends, etc., talents, then share them only with the people that you know and you trust to be, of a good heart, of a good nature. Don't go around flaunting it in people's faces. Because if you do, my brother or sister, then you expect some people to hate on you. Expect some envy to come your way. Expect the evil eye to touch you. And then you will be in a state of misfortune. And you'll have your own self to blame. So that is one lesson that we learn from this advice. But look at how the advice continues. Yaqub alayhi salam then says to his son, وَكَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ وَيُعَلِّمُكَ مِن تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ وَعَلَى آلِ يَعْقُوبَ كما أتمها على أبويك من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق إن ربك عليم حكيم. Yaqub continues the advice and he says now, وَكَذَلِكَ, and in that way, son, in that way that you have just seen in the dream, being honored, being shown respect, being elevated, in that way many amazing things are going to happen to you. Number one, كَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ, your Lord, your Master, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to choose you, is going to select you, make you better than other people. You see, this advice sounds very different to the first piece of advice. The first piece of advice is, don't do this, remember shaitan, and listen, don't go around telling other people these blessings of yours. So that was the strict advice. That was the telling off, if you like, a strong admonition. After giving son a strong piece of advice, then dad begins to praise son. He praised him by saying, number one, son, you're going to be special. Allah is going to choose you. He's going to make you someone special. And you know what, subhanallah, he continues on and saying many different things like this. But if you look here, as parents, do we do this with our children? Where we find our child has actually done something very, very good. They performed well at school, or they've been kind to someone, or better than all of that, they are doing something religious. They are going to listen to a talk, or they're praying, or they want to fast, or they want to read the Quran. And so when you see them doing something good, your reaction is, well done, son. Great work, daughter. Keep it up. Or, unfortunately, is it the case, like many of us, that we can't find it within ourselves to praise our children? That when we see them do something good, we find it so difficult to say, well done, pat them on the back. Why is that the case? In fact, what happens commonly is that we begin to compare our children. That when one child doesn't do that well, then what do we say? We say, what happened? Your brother managed to get all A to C grades in GCSEs. What happened to you? And later on, when son, daughters graduated and they can't find a job, what does mom and dad have to say? Well, look at your cousin. Your cousin managed to get a degree and then get a job. What's wrong with you? So you see, Yaqub alayhi salam, he told his son a strong piece of advice. Don't do these things. Listen to me. As well as praising him, as well as saying, well done, son, as well as encouraging him, positively reinforcing him. Both of those things were brought together in the advice of Yaqub alayhi salam. And it teaches us as parents that we need to give a wholesome upbringing to our children, which includes disciplining them, but it also includes praising them. And so Yaqub continues, وَكَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ وَيُعَلِّمُكَ مِن تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ. And another thing Allah will do for you, son, is what? He will teach you the ta'weel of ahadith. And the main interpretation here is that He will teach you how to interpret dreams. How will that help Yusuf alayhi salam? Well, at this point in the story, you don't know. But later on in the story, you find, wow, he's only had his own dream first and foremost, and he already knows what that means. And then later on, he's been told about the dream from the two prisoners inside of prison. And when he knows the interpretation of those dreams, one of those prisoners goes on to work for the king. And then what do you know? The king himself has a dream that no one in Egypt can interpret except for who? Yusuf as salam, who's languishing in prison. And by knowing the interpretation of the king's dream and by telling him the interpretation, is he liberated from prison and then placed on the highest station of authority beneath the king as the state treasurer. So knowing how to interpret dreams will be of great significance in the life of Yusuf alayhi salam. And dad is already telling him that. That is the way Allah is going to choose you. He's going to teach you how to interpret dreams, and then وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ وَعَلَى آلِ يَعْقُوبَ. And He's going to complete His blessing upon you, meaning He's going to make you a prophet later on. But in general sense, He's saying you're going to be blessed. God's going to bless you. And not only are you going to be blessed, but وَعَلَى آلِ يَعْقُوبَ. But the whole family of Yaqub, our whole family is going to be blessed because of you, son. And subhanallah, look at how that comes true. For later on, Yusuf alayhi salam is in Egypt, but now living as an aziz, living in a very amazing place with great authority, money, wealth, whilst the rest of his family are languishing in the deserts of the Bedouin places. But they will come to find their way to Yusuf, and so Yusuf alayhi salam will then be able to have them live with him in Egypt. So look at how they benefited from Yusuf alayhi salam, just as how dad said in the beginning. After the break, we'll try to explore the rest of this advice and see what do we learn. See you after the break. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.